Hey there, everybody. Sean Larson, realtor here in Franklin Brentwood area. Just wanted to share some information about how do you heat your water. Traditionally, behind us, you see a water heater. That's a traditional method. Right now, tankless systems are getting pretty popular, but a lot of times people don't know the difference and how they work. So I'm just going to give you just a few basics. We won't go into the details, but just kind of basically how they work. The one behind me is a big tank that's traditional water heater. Inside there, you have some heating elements. You can heat that with electricity or gas or propane, but the basics of it is the element inside heats, and that is in the water, transfers the heat to the water once the water's warm enough, and then it flows out to the pipes throughout the home. So this one behind me is about a 75 gallon, which is pretty common for a larger home. You may have something closer to a 50, or if it's a small office, you may even have just a real small one that's maybe about a 20 gallon or so sitting above an office or something like that. But that's pretty basic how it works. It's just heated inside and the water flows out. Now, a tankless is a little different. And there are some different versions of tankless. They've kind of evolved over the years. A tankless traditionally did not have any tank, and people often refer to them as instant hot water. Now, some people also think that's instant hot water at any faucet, and that is incorrect. What you do is you have the unit installed. It would be installed probably a similar location that this would be, maybe in the garage, maybe in a utility or mechanics room, something like that. And the way the tankless works is as the cold water comes in your main line from the street, and it has a signal from a faucet or anything that it needs hot water. The water flows through the unit, and the unit heats the water instantaneously. It's just like the water's driving by, and it has to be heated on the fly. So there is going to be a limit on how much it can heat as the water goes by. That's something that you design into the home. You try to estimate what your water usage is going to be and what size tankless system or how many tankless systems you're going to need to ensure that you don't run out of water. I believe some of them have a function built in where it detects if it is starting to not keep up, it will then slow down the water flow. So if you had a large family or something like that, you want to ensure that your system has the capability to keep up with your water usage if everybody's taking showers or washing clothes and dishes or something like that all at the same time. So just something to keep in mind there too. But a lot of people think that is instant hot water at the faucet, and that is incorrect if it's a traditional unit. Because what it does is the unit heats up the water at the unit. But if you've been sitting for a while and the water in the line from the unit to your faucet has had time to cool, well, once the unit heats some water coming in, it still has to push that cold water out of the line before it reaches your faucet. So just a heads up on that. It is instantly hot at the unit, but not at your faucet. And it is endless. I mean, short of a malfunction or something like that, it is endless. It continuously just heats it as the water goes by. Another thing to think about when you go that route is they have evolved to where they do have options for small reservoirs where you can put circulating or recirculating. So it might have a small tank on there, and it will take a small batch of hot water and circulate it through the home, assuming the home has been plumbed for that. And that gives you an option to have warm water quickly at the faucet, much like a circulating pump would on a traditional tank. So there are some more options than there used to be, but if you're considering whether to go tank or tankless, really investigate it. Make sure you're up on your capacities and make sure that it's going to keep up with you. One benefit I think a tank may still have is if you do have a power outage and your tankless may not function, and that's something to investigate as well. Does the model you're looking at function if the power goes out? I personally kind of like having 75 gallons of even if it's warm water sitting there. So just compare your models, make sure that they work for your family and your condition and how much water you plan to use. So just a little bit on tanks versus tankless. Talk to you soon.